Get him, Kark.
Get him! Don't let him back up.
Oh my god, he is really letting him have it.
Hit him so many times.
This is Kark. Kark is one of the employees that my friend Olly and I hired for our virtual grocery store. If you're wondering why Kark is slapping the bejesus out of one of our customers with a broom, don't worry about it. He's actually working security for us during a busy rush in the shop, and he's just prevented someone from pickpocketing hundreds of dollars worth of goods. Kark was the second employee we hired in our blossoming little supermarket. He's a machine on the tills, he's great at working security, as you've just seen, and he may or may not have a romantic thing going with our first employee, who we named Stuart. If it's weird that I'm describing all of this like it's actually happening, you'll have to forgive me. You see, this silly, somehow free-to-play management sim has quite literally taken over my life lately. And that takes some doing, because there are some amazing video games out right now. I could very easily make a video about the excellent atmosphere and clever lead tracking in Atomfall, the once-in-a-generation turn-based combat in Clair Obscur, or about how I just can't get the puzzling plot threads of Blueprints off my mind. But you see, I can't do any of that. Because instead of thinking about what videos the algorithm might like to see from my channel right now, instead of thinking about any of those games in enough depth to make a video essay, I'm thinking about how much I want to increase the profit margins in our soda aisle. Instead of going to buy groceries for my actual home that I live in, I want to restock products Olly and I have in our store. This stupid, tantalizing, goofy little co-op game is like the Overcooked of supermarket games. So you see, it would be wrong of me to talk to you about anything else. I have to talk to you about Supermarket Together. Management sims. What an oddly versatile genre of video game. There's nothing quite like seeing a project go from bare bones to exactly what we dream it up to be, and this is a genre that allows you to channel your creativity, productivity, and that itch for you to have everything organized exactly how you like it. One of my favorite things about these types of games is how they take something you've probably never expressed an interest in before, like railway building, and let you dive so deep into it that people would think you've been an enthusiast your whole life. What's incredible is how many different ways there are to present that sort of experience in a video game. You've got anything from Animal Crossing to Stardew Valley to Satisfactory, Civilization, and Planet Zoo. Supermarket Together mixes that god game kick you get from city builders into the more hands-on management experience of Animal Crossing. In Supermarket Together, you and up to 16 other players can run a grocery store together. You start with only the humble beginnings of a smaller local shop with only basic items and maybe one or two checkouts, but as you start to pull in profits and succeed in certain goals, you earn franchise points that allow you to upgrade your shop with new employees, products, perks, and other forms of progression.
That's all about, right?
Yeah.
Basic products, soda. It's
You did
happened.
that so fast. You know exactly where they were on the board.
I've had my eye on those for a while.
I think one of the best things about this game is no matter how much your shop expands, it still caters to both sides of the management sim fantasy that I mentioned. If you want to focus on the everyday tasks of manning the tills, you can. But if you want a more hands-off approach, you can assign your co-op partners or even AI employees to do that for you while you order new batches of products, build out the layout and design of the shop, and handle finances.
First card transaction of the day.
Oh no.
What?
Number dyslexia has happened, and instead of giving someone $36, I saw it as 63 and I can't now undo it.
No.
I'm so sorry.
No.
I'm
Our
so
profit.
sorry.
Of course, the main thing that immediately stands out about Supermarket Together is that you can take things on together. As vast as the city building, god game, and simulator genres are these days, it's still not all that common for you to find co-op games within them, and I think that's the first reason Supermarket Together has completely hooked Olly and me. At one point or another, we've all been hit by the blank canvas syndrome these games can give us. Especially starting out, there are so many potential directions to take a project in that often the fun disappears and you end up being unsure of where to start. It turns out that having a partner in that scenario can really help, because instead of being unable to make a decision, it becomes an opportunity for collaboration where you can both help one another.
Oh, I just had an idea. Do you know what we could do? We could move lemon tea to the bottom of this of the bottom shelf, right?
Yeah.
And then use this top shelf as a discount shelf.
Don't fucking walk at me when you say that. A discount shelf.
Let's face it, owning a supermarket and managing it up to be a superstore is no small feat. It takes a lot of work, and even if you might enjoy some parts of it, you may not gel well with others. In any project, we're all going to have our strengths and weaknesses. So I found that having a co-op partner in Supermarket Together elevated this type of game to a whole new level. Suddenly, all of those chore-like tasks that I wasn't so keen on, I could just share with a friend. I know that I absolutely love stocking the shelves and making sure we have enough supplies for each product, but I'm not all that keen on the development menus and building stuff. Lucky for me, my trusty co-manager is great at those things.
And that's fine. We're also going to get marketing at the same time, right? Because we have 6 franchise points. Oh my god. You're so ready.
As our store started to grow, we both gravitated towards the management tasks we both find fun. And not only does that mean we both enjoy our time in the game more, but it feels like a collaborative effort.
Yeah, but how many did it sell? None. People hated the meatball sale.
Because it was meatballs.
It's your idea. You said you want to do meatballs.
Yeah, the discount shelf was my idea. The meatballs, I wasn't banking the idea on meatballs itself.
Seems like you were a little bit.
I wasn't, and you know it.
Seems like you were pretty
you
all
just
in
want in
on
on my
the
fun
meatball thing.
idea. That's all this is. Which
I'm
is
not
fine.
having the
If
your
you
fun
want-
idea.
if you
Because your
want-
fun idea, you've done it once. It was only meatballs and they sold like shit.
And my cereal was my idea, and it's flying off the fucking shelves. I've done it once. I've done it more than once.
Fortunately, nothing brings you back together with someone like a common enemy, and that is exactly what happened when we started hiring more lackeys in our shop. Olly had painstakingly organized our stockroom so that all of the boxes of spare products were placed on shelves according to their product type, which makes sense, right? Because our shelves were arranged in the same way, and finding spare products in the stockroom was then really easy. More than that, every category of item you order is delivered into certain colors of box. But as soon as we assigned our little employees to restocking duty...
Oh, they're done restocking. They've gone to the staff room.
Incredible.
That means anything we have in here is, like, already stocked. Stupid mess they made of these.
I know, what the fuck?
They didn't care at all for our pristine organization. They were just leaving boxes wherever they found the space.
She's not even seeing the color coding.
I know, like, you would think they would at least be programmed to match box to box.
She's looking at us like, what the fuck are you
What's
doing
your
with
problem,
my stock?
Doc? Get out. You're not the warehouse manager, okay? You still have to do what we say. Bet you any money she comes back and puts that in one of these cans.
Did this cause me and Olly to become the sorts of managers we've always hated in our actual jobs? Maybe. But we were still kind enough to improve their staff room, and honestly, I think they should be happy that they even have a bathroom. Who cares that it's technically a prison cell? I think a sign that a management sim is doing its job is when you get swept up into the role-playing aspect of it. Olly and I are always talking about how inflation in the UK needlessly drives up the price of everyday goods, and how supermarket CEOs and bosses absolutely thrive on it because it means that they can charge ludicrous prices for basic items. My personal pet peeve? Cereal. There is no way that granola, Cheerios, or whatever breakfast grain tickles your fancy should cost $4 a box. But I fully believe there is a manager with a curly villain mustache boosting the price weekly and laughing as they do so. But as it turns out, with great power comes great responsibility, because as soon as we unlocked cereal as a product in our shop, We took the opportunity to set the profit margin as high as possible. In Supermarket Together, the economy is simple but brilliant. It's your job to bring goods in at cost, then price them to a level that gives you room for profit without outraging your customers.
Yeah.
Duncan,
Yeah.
huge news. We now sell hummus.
Oh. Oh, dude, that is gonna be so expensive. We are gonna mark that
it
shit
is.
up.
I in no way condone this sort of price hiking in the real world, but I am absolutely going to charge $16 for olive oil if it means we get to expand our shop a little bit quicker.
You're going to be very excited to see the new price of olive oil.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I think one of the reasons that I end up not getting on so well with a lot of these games is because mechanically, they can be a little bit unapproachable. I remember trying to get into Car Mechanic Simulator, for example, because I would love to know more about cars so that I don't feel like whenever I put mine into the garage, I'm getting ripped off. But any mundane, small task in that game felt really unsatisfying and a little bit disjointed. I think a good management sim, city builder, or god game needs to strike a really great balance between making tiny, insignificant tasks feel amazing while also designing clean UI that sets everything out super clearly. Supermarket Together does a wonderful job of that, so that even the pretty boring parts of working in retail feel great. The satisfying pops that sound as you stock a shelf full of goods in particular soothe my brain to no end. I would gladly, and actually have, spent multiple 3 and 4 hour sessions just focusing on restocking because it feels so satisfying. And that takes some serious understanding of what game feel is all about, because mechanically all you're really doing there is holding down a mouse click and moving around with relatively basic first person controls. If a game can make something that simple feel that good, you know that the developer is onto something. All the while, you can have a game that feels great to play, but if its UI isn't up to snuff, it can ruin the entire experience. Fully upgrading your shop and Supermarket Together means that you can have up to 49,000 products on your shelves at the same time. So as you can imagine, the UI that handles all of that has to be pretty well designed, or it will all get a little bit unruly.
Are we open?
Don't know, did you push the button? I thought you did it.
No, do you know what happened? I looked at the sign above the switch and it said open but in red letters, and I was like, oh, I guess that means it must be open, because if it was closed, the sign would say closed.
It would say closed, yeah.
Ordering product stock, managing employees, paying invoices, taking out loans, it's all done via one centralized board in the back of your shop. And since it only has the functions you actually need to do all of that stuff, it feels as streamlined as Planet Coaster in terms of being easy to navigate. Not every city builder and simulator can do this, but I prefer it from a mainstay UI overlay that's constantly on the screen and sort of muddies the experience of actually playing. Maybe the only complaint that I have about the UI is that it's so cleanly designed that sometimes it actually flies under the radar. Firstly, it's tuned to your FOV, so even when you are locked into using it, the text can be unreadably small. But there are actually loads of quality of life wins that Olly and I just didn't realize were in the game, like the pop-up box on an empty shelf that tells you what product you had on it, or the stock moving trays.
Just pop out of your order for a second and look at me.
What? Oh, you're fucking kidding me. So we haven't needed empty boxes to move things off of shelves this entire fucking time.
Fucking time!
You may be looking at this game and thinking that its visuals are just a little bit too basic for it to be as fun as I'm making it out to be, but honestly, I think Supermarket Together is proof that if you design a good enough game, visuals don't need to be anything special. I mean, the character models, the clothes that they wear, the low-res product names, it's not exactly doing anything special, and if you look hard enough, you can kind of see engine. But I think that actually suits this sort of game. So much of the stuff that you're doing minute to minute is really generic, everyday, mundane work, so having a visual style that aligns with that actually really works.
Oh my,
Nice.
oh my god.
That's exactly what I wanted that to look like, to be honest.
Whether it was an intentional choice or a lack of resources from the developer, I also think the visuals suit this style of game beautifully because it shows that it's not taking itself too seriously. Having goofy character models that adopt a power stance when crouched is objectively hilarious in the context of a supermarket management game. The animation of swinging a broom like an epic fantasy character wielding a giant sword means that it hits so much harder than it needs to. The visuals in this game are something to be laughed at with friends, and I think that works really, really well. Let's not forget that this is a free-to-play game with next to no monetization other than a singular DLC, and it's the only game on Steam made by this developer. As if that wasn't enough, the game gets frequent patches adding new content and quality of life updates. For the potential hours of enjoyment that you can get out of it, that is nothing short of amazing. Especially in this era of live service games that not only have an upfront fee, but then take every opportunity to squeeze more money out of you for battle passes and DLCs. So, as you can probably tell, I thoroughly recommend Supermarket Together. If you fancy giving it a try, why not join my Discord and come and help me and Olly with our shop? The link to join is down in the description, and we might even be doing some live streams of it on YouTube, so keep an eye out for those. Management sims and city builders like this can be super addictive, so I'd love to hear what one you've been playing lately. Head down to the comments and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, hitting the subscribe button and the bell icon will make sure that you never miss a video of mine. If you fancy giving it a thumbs up, that really helps me out too. Thanks again so much for watching, and tune in next time.